And we want you to meet Jaki Shelton Green. She's the first African-American named Poet Laureate of North Carolina. Governor Roy Cooper recently made the announcement, and now she's responsible for serving as the state's ambassador for the poetry and for spoken word. As WFMY News 2's Candace Red shows you, Biscuitville is recognizing the award-winning writer during Black History Month.
Biscuitville selected me to be the face of their bookmark this year for Black History Month, along with Nina Simone. I have 9 publications for which I am very, very honored and humble to have received a number of awards, including being inducted into the North Carolina Literary Hall of Fame and receiving the North Carolina Award, which is one of the highest awards the state of North Carolina bestows on people in the fine arts, literature, science, and medicine. And now I am the first African-American poet laureate and the 3rd woman. My life as a writer actually started when I was very young. My grandmother would give me little tiny tablets to be quiet in church, and I would look around me and pretend to write stories. That habit continued into my adolescence when I would be very, very bored in church or in spaces, and I would write. The ordinariness, the functionality of poetry, of writing, is what helps us create a better world. I'm very, very proud to be a Black woman bringing this message. And I'm even prouder to be a writer who is a part of the literary landscape of North Carolina.
That is so awesome. As North Carolina's 9th Poet Laureate, Green plans on working closely with communities across the state and focusing her efforts on the creation of documentary poetry. You can meet poet Jaki Green today at the Biscuitville on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Greensboro. She will be reading her literary works to everyone there. The free event starts at 9 and ends at 11 o'clock this morning.